All right, so here we are giving you the summary of all the tackle and some tips that I used at the St. Johns River this year in 2024. Now, my track record leading up to this event was really good, but this event was not very good. The first day, I really struggled to catch anything decent. Only had 9.5 pounds. The second day, I had a little better day, 14 pounds due to a 6-pounder. So I'm going to give you like the highlights of what I was using and kind of give you an idea of what I was doing, kind of how it went down. So the first day, I ran around like crazy. I caught fish on all kind of different baits. What I caught probably the most keepers on, and I didn't catch any better ones on it, but was the old spinning rod, and I was throwing a wacky worm around some little areas that I had seen some spawning fish. I was throwing the Missile Baits magic worm in green pumpkin money, and I was using the Gamakatsu octopus straight eye in the 1/0. I love this hook. It's a really good wacky hook, and as you can see, it's kind of a heavier duty, and which really fits with Florida being bigger fish, potentially some giants. I mean, I did catch an 11-pounder on straight braid wacky worm in the past down there, but I was using, let's see here, 16-pound Sunline Overwatch. That's the line that I was using, and it was on 7-foot 3-inch Cash and Icon medium fast spinning rod, Daiwa 3000 ballistic reel, and like I said, just straight braid to that hook. It's a deadly combination. Anytime the fish are around the beds and they're spawning, I catch fish on that. And just to reiterate, this was in April, this tournament. Autism awareness. It is Autism Awareness Month. We got the socks, we got the bracelet. That's what we do in April. I had some really cool stuff going on, but I appreciate everybody and everybody's support for our cause and for making sure that everybody's aware and we can raise some funds. But yeah, that little combo right there caught some fish for me on day 2, but it definitely probably caught about half of my keepers on day 1 for me. And then also on day 1, the other rod that did some damage for me was the Chatterwagon, aka the jackhammer. I was throwing the Golden Shiner, as you can see. I love that Golden Shiner. I had 2 different trailers that I was using. I was using the Chunky D and Green Pumpkin Flash. Caught some fish on that, and then I also caught some fish on the Green Pumpkin Spunk Shad. That Green Pumpkin Spunk Shad, or the Spunk Shad in general, skips so well. It's a little thicker bait. Skips really well up under docks, and that's kind of what I was doing on day 1 with the ChatterBait. I caught one of a little bit over 2, and then one almost 4 pounds on that setup right there. And as of right now, I'm using the Chattergrass rod, which is the Cashin CK series, the kayak series. It's called the Chattergrass rod. I really like it for a chatterbait. It's a really good one. Daiwa Zillion SVTW 7-to-1, and then I almost always use the Sunline Shooter 18-pound. I love that 18-pound. I think it's just a great combination of castability, durability, strength, boat flip 3, 4, 5-pounders, no problem. But that little combination right there is it's deadly in Florida, pretty much anywhere you go, but definitely on the St. Johns. It put those couple better fish in the boat for me, thankfully, or I would have had like 7 pounds. Or even less, maybe. But on day 2, I started out with ChatterBait and a Zara Spook. Caught one on a Zara Spook, about a 2-pounder. And then the majority of the fish, I caught probably 8 or 10 keepers on this little rig right here. And I was using, it was a Neco rig. And this is a deadly deal around spawning fish that you're not, genuinely looking at. If you're catching, if you're dead looking at one on the bed, that's fine. But if you want to have a little setup to where you can go into spawning areas and just fan cast or throw it light spots, throw it dock poles, throw it whatever you think they might be spawning on, this little setup right here is just absolutely diggity dirty on them. And it's the Missile Baits Magic Worm. And whenever it's clear water. The ingredients are clear water and little wind, very little wind. The watermelon violet is hands down my favorite color. That color is so, so good. That's what I was using there because those were the conditions I was in. And I had a 1/32 ounce weight in the bottom of it. And then I had, you know, right through the egg sac there, I had the Gamakatsu TGW Octopus. That is a bad, bad, bad hook right there because it utilizes the lighter wire, not necessarily lighter in diameter, lighter in material. It's the TGW tournament grade wire material. And that was in the #1 size is what I was using. So I was taking that #1 and that lighter wire helps the, you know, worm from getting pulled over. It keeps the worm more vertical. And I caught a 6 on it. I caught a bunch of other fish on it. Nobody came off. I've had really good success with that hook. And that's just, you just make the long cast and, you know, let it settle down where you think it is, and then just kind of lightly shake it, leave it there, reel up your slack, just kind of lightly shake it. That's all you got to do. You don't want to overwork it too much because that thing, it falls kind of slow. And I had a number of them that I threw over there and let it settle on the bottom. And I'd shook it a couple times, and then I was just waiting. And then when I would lift up, they were moving off with it. So I had that on a leader, about a 20 to 22 foot leader of the Sunline Mabaroshi. I can never get that one. Mabaroshi, 10 pound. I can't say it, but I can use it, and that stuff is legit, dude. I love that. Anytime I'm around heavier cover, I like that as my leader. It is designed to be a leader material for heavy cover. It's got alternating, you know, green, clear, and brown. So it's almost like a camo. I really like that because you can still see it. It's not clear to where sometimes it's hard to see. You can still see it because of those alternating colors. And then I had that on 12 pound Sunline AMZ, which is this right here, the PE AMZ 8. That is fantastic line. Really, really good line. I like it a lot. It's got the PE coating, which is helps make it, it's just super, super smooth. Casts really well. I really like that line. And then anytime I fish a Neco rig, I'm going to throw it on the Cashin, Icon, John Cruz drop shot rod, because the rod is counterweighted. So when I'm throwing that bait out there and then I'm working it, the tip, it stays up because there's counterbalance weight in the butt of this rod. So I can keep that tip up very easily. Like I'm just, like you can see, I got my fingers open and that tip is staying up. So you can just kind of shake it, you know, reel up your slack and just kind of shake it, and it gives you better feel and control when you're fishing drop shot or a Neco rig. And then of course the Daiwa, this is a 2500 ballistic. It's got the higher speed gear ratio. I like that at times when I'm using a little bit lighter line. So that's what I was using. That was the setup. I really like that, this whole combination, and I will throw it probably throughout the rest of the year. Whenever I'm throwing a Neco rig, that little same combo right there, I might just adjust the size of the leader. I might go down to 8 or even 7 or 6 if we go to Clearwater or Smith Lake or something like that. But that was my deal for I finished in the 60s. One of my worst tournaments at the St. Johns River. I really messed up the first day. I wish I would have flip-flopped and done what I did the second day. I wish I'd have done that the first day, and I think my tournament would have been completely different. But you live and you learn. That's the name of the game in bass fishing, right? That's why y'all are trying to learn out there. If you have any tips, anything you think I missed, believe me, I saw the live. I saw what everybody was doing. I saw what happened with down this year. But if y'all have any tips or anything for me for the St. Johns River, I'm always learning. That's what we do here. Everybody's trying to learn, and I appreciate everybody watching. And if you want to go to anything on the YouTube video of this, there's the links all down at the bottom based on what are you looking for, the magic worm, those hooks, the leader material, all that kind of stuff. But I appreciate everybody watching, and you guys are the best. Autism awareness, baby. That's it.